Circle of Trust. There's a famous movie, I think it's Meet the Parents with Robert De Niro, where he says, I could be mistaken because I see a lot of movies, not a lot, but a fair amount. But anyway, Robert De Niro says, or whoever says it, you're in the circle of trust, you're outside the circle of trust. If you want to get anything done in a company or in a relationship in life, there has to be a circle of trust, because people will either be conflictual or passive aggressive based upon their personality style if they don't trust you. And a lot of companies and leaders and managers overlook this because they think, I'm going to use this strategy, I'm going to use that strategy. I mean, a lot of times it just leads to bureaucracies and rules. Stephen Covey in the famous book, The Speed of Trust, says, small companies beat big companies a lot of times are, it may not only be small versus big, but, trust versus mistrust, because when people trust each other, you don't have to have a million different rules. People can just do things independently and get things done. When there's a lack of trust, and there's what's called signaling, which is basically just politics. People pretend that they're getting things done or just try to give signals that they're getting things done. And it takes like 10 signatures to actually get anything done, so it's too difficult. So people don't actually get much work done or much productive work done. They probably get a lot of work done, but it's, activity and not progress. So, you have to, in order for people to trust you, have to genuinely care about them. A lot of companies, like private equity is the famous example. They just come in and they just fire everybody and put lots of debt and then take all the value for the investors and basically, everybody else is out of luck. And people can feel, I think, when you don't really care about them, no matter what you say. So safety of trust, circle of trust, remember that. Now, there is kind of like a little bit of a corollary, which is that within a circle of trust, there also has to be growth, and positive accountability. There's positive accountability and negative accountability. Positive accountability is when people are, valued and trusted, but they're also held to high standards. And everybody has different abilities and capabilities. So standards for one person, might be a little bit different than for another based upon what one person is capable of in their role. So let me say a little bit about that. So there's a famous study, I forget exactly who did it, but showing that companies that are very growth-oriented, do much better. That there has to be regular feedback, honest feedback. So it's kind of paradoxical, because on one side you have to have trust where people feel like they're in a safe environment, but at the other side, people have to feel that they have to be growing and stretching. It can be stretch goals and getting regular feedback, which is candid and honest. So the famous example of this in the book, and there were many, but the one that sticks out to me was Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs. And they've had the best record, the San Antonio Spurs, over a large number of years since he's been the coach. But anyway, he's famous for having regular dinners and socializing and being very friendly with the players and involved in their personal lives, just asking them about their lives and basically, loving them in a professional way. But at the same time, he's brutally honest. He's and if you're in an environment where you can, really have a lot of caring and, positive professional caring for people, but at the same time, within that, be honest, then that's going to be hopefully the balance that bridges, the best of both worlds.